this whole struggle. Y'all thought she bought a house. She did not buy my mama no house. Stop lying. She did not. She bought my daddy a house with his trick ass. She bought, and then he got the smallest house on the block. Fuck, talking about she retired. That man retired on his own time, and she didn't retire shit.
Loa Dunn really made it to the top. She's out here living large, cruising in Bentleys, showing off that new face, sitting front row at every big award show like she runs the place. But the crazy part? Her whole family's still out here struggling hard.
It was fun growing up in Memphis, though. It was bad. I mean, not bad. Like, you know, the city got his...
Got his name, I know, trust me.
Yeah, type shit. But, you know, it's really... I'm really proud to say I'm from Memphis, but I just don't understand it.
Her mom's clocking in at FedEx every day, her siblings can barely keep up with rent, and her dad just had to borrow $100 just to make it through the week. And yo, I got some exclusive tea on why she really switched up on her people. What's been said about this whole thing is wild. Seriously, you won't believe it. But before I spill that part, let's rewind for a sec so you can really see how deep this story goes. So check it. It all starts with Guerilla, whose real name is Gloria Woods. She grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, and when I say rough, I mean rough. This wasn't no easy life, no silver spoons here. She came straight from the trenches, for real. Nothing fancy, just survival mode every single day. And get this, Guerilla got 10 siblings. Yeah, 10. That's basically a whole football team under one roof. Can you even picture trying to feed 10 mouths in Memphis? That's insane. They were all packed in tight, sharing rooms, swapping clothes, maybe even passing around one bowl of cereal in the morning. That's the level of struggle we're talking about. But it gets even deeper. Word is, they weren't just broke, they were living in serious struggle. We're talking rats and roaches in the house, air mattresses losing air overnight, and taking baths from water bottles when the water got shut off.
Singing church. And I wanted to be a singer, but I realized I couldn't sing. So I started rapping because I always wanted to be on the singer music. You know?
That's not just hard times, that's survival in real life right there in Memphis, Tennessee. That's the harsh reality Guerilla and her brothers and sisters grew up in. They barely had anything, for real. The lights were getting cut off every other month, and keeping food on the table was a full-time battle. This wasn't some made-for-TV kind of struggle. This was real-life poverty. Her sister Scarface even said they used to eat ketchup sandwiches when there wasn't anything else to eat. Just bread and ketchup, that's it. Can you imagine? That's how rough it was out there. Guerilla saw all that pain up close. She watched her mom grind non-stop, breaking her back at work just to keep a roof over their heads. That kind of struggle is supposed to build a fire in you, make you remember exactly where you came from. Memphis raised her tough, no doubt about it. And yo, before Guerilla was the superstar everyone knows today, she was clocking in at fast food spots just to survive. Picture her standing on her feet for hours, dealing with wild customers, coming home smelling like fries and grease every night. That was her daily reality. She was out here flipping burgers, bagging orders, probably making minimum wage, just trying to help her family stay afloat.
And the link with him, it was on the yacht. We had met on the yacht and stuff, and we was just chopping it up. And then the rest was history.
How you get to Gotti last, though? Gotti right there in Memphis.
Right, because it's like, I don't know. I probably was scared.
But here's where things get real interesting. While she was out there hustling at those food joints, Guerilla had a bigger dream brewing inside her. She wanted to rap. She wanted to escape the struggle, change her whole life, and bring her people out the trenches with her. So she started hitting the studio whenever she could, recording tracks, dropping songs online, just trying to get her name buzzing around Memphis. But at first, nothing was hitting. Nobody was really paying attention. People were clowning her, saying she'd never make it, telling her to get a real job and give it up. But Guerilla wasn't hearing none of that. She kept grinding, kept writing, kept believing even when no one else did. That's pure hustle right there. Then, boom, 2022 came around and everything flipped. Guerilla dropped FNF, Let's Go, and that track went nuclear. TikTok went wild. People everywhere were dancing to it, and the radio couldn't stop spinning it. The whole world was vibing to her song, and just like that, Guerilla's life would never be the same again. It all happened almost overnight. Guerilla went from clocking in at fast food joints to being one of the hottest rappers out right now. Wild, right? That song FNF didn't just go viral, it hit people differently. Her raw energy, that Memphis flavor, that voice, it all connected with fans instantly. Illa was finally getting her flowers, and the streets were loving every bit of it. But yo, here's where things take a wild turn. Once FNF started blowing up, guess who came knocking? None other than Yo Gotti himself, the Memphis boss. Gotti saw the spark and said, I need her on CMG ASAP. And just like that, the deal was locked in. Guerilla officially signed with CMG Records, Yo Gotti's own label, and her whole world flipped in an instant.
I pulled up and we was on the yacht. I instantly hooked up to the aux, played all my unreleased music, and he was just on the yacht vibing to all my unreleased music I got. So he was like, it just felt right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he believed in me.
Now we're talking real money, real exposure, real moves. She wasn't just getting paid from streams anymore. She had a major label behind her, throwing bags into her career, setting up promo runs, magazine covers, shows, everything. From the block straight to the industry, Guerilla's glow up was next level. And you could see it too. She switched up her look, got her teeth done, touched up her face, started rocking designer fits that screamed success. She was glowing like never before. BET appearances, front row at the Grammys, showing up at Essence, Guerilla was everywhere. The same girl who once smelled like fry grease was now chilling with the biggest names in the game. And the money? It came rolling in heavy. Show checks, brand deals, music sales, streams, Guerilla was stacking paper fast.
I always say she marked me, but I ain't never feel no special than none of the other kids. We all was treated the same. It's just growing up, my mama had me near her. Like I was like, right.
From barely making rent to cruising in luxury cars and rocking custom pieces, she was officially living that superstar lifestyle. It's wild when you realize how fast it all happened. One year she's flipping burgers, the next she's on festival stages performing in front of thousands. Guerilla didn't just make it, she took over. Everything she ever dreamed of was finally real. Fame, money, luxury, Guerilla was living that superstar fantasy for real. It looked like nothing could slow her down, like her rise to the top was unstoppable. But here's where things start getting messy. Yeah, it's about to get real. So Guerilla made it. She's got the fame, the designer clothes, the hits, the spotlight, all of it. But what about her people? The 10 siblings she grew up with, the mom who's still clocking in long hours at FedEx just to keep the lights on. What if I told you that once Guerilla got rich, she packed her bags, moved out of Memphis, and straight up stopped answering her family's calls? Yeah, you heard that right. She left the city and basically cut off her own blood. While Guerilla was out here posting pictures next to Bentleys and Maybachs, her family was still living in the same struggle they'd always known. Her mom's still working that FedEx shift, her brothers and sisters still scrambling to pay rent, and word is, Guerilla wasn't sending any help their way. That's wild to even think about. Like imagine making it out the trenches, finally escaping the struggle, and then turning your back on the very people who were there from day one. That's the rumor going around, and it's hard to wrap your head around it. Especially when folks notice she's out here buying brand new cars for her friends. Yeah, straight up gifting cars to people she probably met in the industry, while her own family's still stuck fighting to get by. That's crazy behavior. Her family's been watching all this from the sidelines, seeing her face on TV, spotting her in music videos, scrolling through Instagram as she flexes designer bags and luxury vacations. And you just know they're sitting there thinking, when's she gonna look back? When's she gonna reach out? It's a painful sight, watching someone you love live your dream while you're still trapped in the same old struggle. But that call, it never came. That text never showed up. Guerilla started moving like her own family didn't even exist anymore. Her sister said she tried hitting her up over and over. Nothing. Total silence. Imagine reaching out to your own sister, just asking for a little help and getting left on red. That's cold, like ice cold. And what makes it even harder to swallow is the history they share. These are the same people she grew up with, the ones who struggled beside her, splitting ketchup sandwiches and counting change for meals. Now she's acting like a stranger, like she don't even know him no more. And yo, this is where everything blew up. Her sister, who goes by Scarface Woods on social media, finally hit her breaking point. Shorty jumped on Facebook Live and aired it all out for the world to see. No filters, no sugarcoating, just straight up emotion and truth flying left and right. a full-blown expose. And when I tell you she came in swinging, she came in swinging. She started the live saying, yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. I'm talking about y'all favorite rapper. Y'all favorite rapper ain't nothing, and I'm tired of it. No warm-up, no hesitation. She went straight for the jugular. You could feel every ounce of pain and frustration pouring through her voice. This wasn't some clout-chasing stunt. This was years of bottled-up hurt finally exploding. Then she hit him with another one. She said, y'all mad. Y'all talking about she ain't obligated. How she ain't obligated when she sits in interviews talking about the struggles we've been through, but don't reach back to help none of us out. Got her friends around, but my mama's still working at FedEx.
Talk about y'all favorite rapper. Y'all favorite rapper ain't shit. And I'm getting tired of it. Y'all mad. Fuck. Y'all talking about some she ain't obligated. She ain't obligated when she want to sit here and hold them interviews and talk about the struggles we've been through and then reach back and help none of us out. But got her friends around and shit. And my mama still working at FedEx. Y'all better get the fuck out of my face.
Man, that line hit hard. Because she's not wrong. Guerilla stays mentioning her come-up story, how rough Memphis life was and how she came from nothing. That same story helped her build her image, connect with fans, and make millions. But when it comes to the actual people who lived that story with her, silence. Scarface was done being quiet. All that frustration, all that hurt, it came pouring out in one moment. She felt disrespected, she felt invisible, and she wanted everyone to see the truth behind the fame. Then she dropped another bomb that had everybody talking. She said, I'm constantly getting acknowledged for being her sister, and she ain't messing with us at all. You could hear the heartbreak in that statement. Like she's proud of her sister's success, but can't ignore how cold it feels being forgotten by someone who made it out the same struggle you still stuck in. The live went viral in minutes. People were shocked, angry, and picking sides. It wasn't just drama anymore. It was family pain spilling out for the world to see. Yo, just think about that for a second. Imagine walking around and everywhere you go, people recognize you as Guerilla's sister. Folks stopping you for pictures, asking questions about her, acting like you're living that same superstar life. But behind closed doors, you can't even get a simple text back. That kind of pain hits different. It's crazy to even picture that. But hold up, it gets worse. Scarface dropped another bomb during her live, saying that Dad, Guerilla's own father, is completely broke. She said he had to borrow $100 from their mom just to get by. $100, fam. That's nothing to someone like Illa, who's out here spending thousands on designer fits, jewelry, and luxury rides. Yet her own dad's out here struggling to scrape together a bill. That's wild. And that's not even the end of it. Scarface went on to say the whole family's struggling to keep a roof over their heads. She even said she had to give her mom $1,800 out of a $2,400 rent payment because Guerilla blocked their mother. Yeah, you heard that right. Blocked her own mom. Like, how do you block the woman who gave birth to you? The same one who worked herself to the bone when you had nothing. That's a different level of cold. Meanwhile, Guerilla's out here showing off Bentleys and designer bags, getting cosmetic work done, living that high life, while her family's worried about rent and bills. The math just isn't adding up. How you living like a millionaire while your people back home don't even know if they'll have a place to stay next month? That's beyond messed up. And then Scarface said something that really hit hard. She said, it's been 4 years and we ain't seen nothing from y'all. Nothing. 4 years, bro. That's how long Guerilla's been up. And apparently she hasn't sent a single dollar, not one package, not even a y'all good text. That's ice cold behavior, no question about it. She even called her out for putting on an act in public. Scarface said, you be all everywhere acting like you messing with us. You don't mess with us. Basically calling her out for being fake, doing interviews, talking about family, making it sound like everything's good when behind the scenes, she's not even speaking to him. That's the definition of switching up for real. And yo, Scarface didn't stop there. She took it all the way back to the struggle days. She talked about how they used to sleep on busted air mattresses, deal with rats and roaches crawling around, and take baths from water bottles when the water got cut off. She even said they used to eat out of big cans of beans and ketchup sandwiches just to get by. That's the real poverty they were living in, pure survival mode. Then she brought up something that broke people's hearts. She said they've got a brother who's autistic, someone who genuinely needs extra care and support, and Guerilla doesn't help him either. Not financially, not emotionally, not at all. That's what Scarface claimed, and you could hear how hurt she was saying it. All of this coming out in one live had people shocked. Like if even half of what she's saying is true, that's heartbreaking. Because this isn't just gossip, it's a family crying out for help while their sister shines under the spotlight. The contrast is wild, and it's got everybody talking. This isn't some random person chasing clout. This is Guerilla's own sister saying all this. Someone who shared the same room, the same food, the same pain, and now she's out here feeling completely abandoned. That hits on a whole different level for real. It's one thing when strangers talk, but when your own blood says it, that cuts deep.
We used to have days when we wasn't eating, but motherfucker ain't obligated. But you want to get on interviews and talk about the struggle. You want to talk about the struggle. But yeah, ain't one of us shining, fool. Ain't one of us shining. You got everybody else in this hole. You giving money out, you bringing money back around, you didn't cross you badly, because Sanchez watch you get your ass beat. On God, watch you get your ass stomped. And I remember when Clea did this shit. She watched you, and you brought her back around, and she went live about you.
And yo, Scarface didn't just talk, she came with receipts. She exposed how Guerilla's been out here splurging on friends, dropping big money on people who ain't even family, while her own kin still struggling to get by. She even called out somebody named Rambo, saying Guerilla bought him a whole Escalade. Yeah, an Escalade, bro. That's like $80,000 to $100,000 easy. Picture this, you scrolling on Instagram and there's your sister handing over the keys to a brand new luxury car for somebody who barely been around, while you can't even afford to fix the transmission in your old 2005 Honda. That's a slap in the face if there ever was one. It's like she's proven to the world she can give away money, just not to the people who actually need it most. Scarface didn't stop there. She went in on how Guerilla's out here driving every new car that drops, rocking designer from head to toe, and showing up at every exclusive event, while her mom is still clocking in shifts at FedEx. Let that sink in for a second. The same woman who raised 10 kids, who probably skipped meals to make sure her children could eat, still has to wake up early and punch a clock, while her daughter's flying private jets and posting about luxury living. That ain't right, not even a little bit. And get this, Scarface claimed Guerilla even bought their dad a Jaguar, but said it didn't even have gas in it. Like, what's the point of gifting someone a luxury car if they can't even afford to drive it? That's just for show. That's not help. That's a photo op. She also said Guerilla tried to act like she retired her dad, but that was cap too. According to Scarface, he retired on his own, not because Guerilla helped him out, and he's still broke to this day. So what was the point of the big gesture? Just another headline? Another flex for the camera? It's giving smoke and mirrors, all for the image. And the deeper you listen, you can tell. This isn't just about money. This is about respect. This is about loyalty. This is about feeling like someone you love made it out and decided to forget everyone who helped her survive the storm. Scarface's pain was clear. She's not just mad about the cash, she's hurt about the disconnect. She said it felt like Guerilla switched up, like she left her family behind for fame and forgot where she came from. And for Scarface, that's the part that burns the most. Not the Bentleys, not the designer, not the interviews, but the fact that her own sister, the one who came from the same trenches, is acting brand new like they were never family at all. That's the kind of heartbreak you can't fake. And the way Scarface told it, she wanted the world to know the truth, raw and unfiltered. Now this is where things get even crazier. After Scarface dropped all that tea on live, the internet went absolutely nuts. But instead of everyone rallying behind the family, things took a wild turn. A huge wave of Guerilla's fans came out swinging, not at her, but at her family. I'm talking comment sections going off, timelines on fire, and people defending Guerilla like their life depended on it. Folks were saying wild stuff like, Guerilla don't owe y'all nothing, and y'all need to get jobs instead of begging. They were calling the family ungrateful and lazy, saying Guerilla made it out on her own, so she shouldn't have to take care of grown adults. The comments were ruthless, fam. It wasn't just criticism, it was straight up attacks. Some fans were saying, just because she's your sister don't mean she gotta pay your bills, while others hit him with, y'all had the same 24 hours she did. Why didn't y'all grind harder? The disrespect was real, bro. They were treating Scarface like she was some random hater trying to tear Guerilla down, not her actual sister crying out about family pain. One fan even said her friends work for her, they dancers, they earn their money. Another one commented, why should she give y'all money when y'all probably just gonna waste it? Like the internet was straight up roasting Scarface and her family, calling them bitter, jealous, and entitled. Guerilla supporters was riding hard for her, no hesitation, no sympathy. But here's where it gets tricky. Is that really fair though? Yeah, technically, Guerilla don't owe anyone anything. She worked, she hustled, she made it big. That's her money, her grind, her success. But at the same time, when you come from a family of 10 kids who all suffered through the same struggle, how do you just look the other way once you make it out? Shouldn't you want to make sure your mom don't have to clock in at FedEx anymore? Shouldn't you want your dad to never have to borrow $100 again? This ain't about obligation, it's about loyalty. It's about not forgetting the people who were right there when you had nothing but hope and determination. Some folks online agreed with that too. They were bringing up other celebs who made sure their families was good. People mentioned how Beyonce put her whole family in position, how Jay-Z made sure his mom was straight, and how Cardi B bought her mom a house when she blew up. Those are examples of artists who didn't forget where they came from. So the real question people kept asking was, why can't Guerilla do the same? One comment that went viral said, me and my siblings struggled together. We up together. No questions asked. I'm obligated to my family. They come first. And honestly, that's real talk. A lot of people feel that way. If one person in the family eat,
talk about y'all favorite rapper. Y'all favorite rapper ain't shit. And I'm getting tired of it. Y'all mad, fuck. Y'all talking about some she ain't obligated. She ain't obligated, but she want to sit here and all them interviews and talk about the struggles we've been through and then reach back and help none of us out. We got her friends wearing the shit. And my mama still working at FedEx. Y'all better get the f out of my face.
But of course, not everyone agreed. Guerilla's diehard fans weren't trying to hear any of that. They were saying the family was just jealous, trying to guilt trip her into sharing her money, and that success doesn't mean you owe anybody a dime. The internet turned into a straight-up war zone. Comment sections were divided like crazy. Half of social media riding for Scarface, saying family comes first, and the other half defending Guerilla, saying independence comes with boundaries. It was chaos online. People dropping paragraphs, arguing non-stop, taking sides like it was a championship game. One thing's for sure though, this whole situation had everybody talking. Some people online were ruthless, saying stuff like, y'all just want handouts, get a job. But Scarface wasn't backing down. She clapped right back, letting everyone know her mom is still working hard at FedEx, and she herself's got a job too. So nah, it ain't about being lazy. It's about wanting support from someone who made it big and has the means to help. That's real family frustration, not entitlement. But then you have folks on the other side saying family will hurt you more than anybody else. Some people actually believe there had to be a deeper reason Guerilla cut her people off. And honestly, that's a fair point too. We don't know every detail behind the scenes. Maybe there was drama. Maybe there were broken promises. Maybe things got messy once money came into the picture. It happens all the time when fame hits. Loyalty gets tested. Still, based on what Scarface said, it doesn't really sound like Guerilla tried and got burned. It sounds like she just switched up once the fame and money started rolling in. Like she built a new life and left the old one behind completely. And if that's true, man, that's sad. That's heartbreak on a different level. So yeah, that's the full story on how Guerilla's own sister came out and exposed her for allegedly leaving her family stuck in the trenches while she lives the celebrity dream. The whole situation is wild from every angle, no lie. You got a mom still clocking in at FedEx, siblings trying to make rent, and a sister living a superstar life with luxury cars and red carpets. It's drama, pain, and loyalty all tangled up together. You got one side saying family comes first no matter what, and the other saying success doesn't mean you owe anyone a dime. The internet still split down the middle, half calling Guerilla cold for leaving her family behind, and half saying she earned the right to live her life on her own terms. But what do you think? Is Guerilla wrong for not helping out the people who were there from the start, or does she have the right to enjoy her success however she wants without being guilt-tripped into giving back? This one's tough, fam, real tough. On one hand, she put in the grind, the hours, the sweat. That's her success. On the other hand, when you come from the bottom with family who sacrifice for you, doesn't loyalty mean something? Either way, it's a reminder that fame changes everything, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. If you learned something new or got a different perspective from this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. I want to know how y'all feel about this one. Should Guerilla be helping her family, or is she right to keep her distance? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget, share this video with your people so they can weigh in too. I got plenty more wild stories, celebrity drama, and real talk coming your way that's gonna blow your mind. Until next time, stay blessed, stay real, and remember, no matter how high you rise, never forget where you came from. That's solid truth right there. Peace out, fam.